6, 2016. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. Of course, 72 years ago today, as we are talking to you, Allied forces were storming the beaches at Normandy. It's the anniversary of D-Day. There are precious few of those veterans left alive today, but there are news stories of some of them reminiscing about that day. 3 people were killed last night in a train crash in Belgium when a high-speed train rammed into the back of a stopped cargo train in the eastern part of the country. The crash occurred at Saint-Georges-sur-Meuse around 11:30 p.m. The passenger train was carrying about 40 people, and the train was struck. It struck a stationary cargo train which was on the same track in the station. The driver of the passenger train was among those who died in the crash. The railway system in Belgium of late has also been afflicted by labor actions, although it's not known whether or not there's any connection. The rain-swollen Seine River in Paris has finally receded for the first time in a week after nearing its highest level in 30 years. 17 people have been killed in floods across Europe. Scenes over the weekend showed artworks at the Louvre and other museums being brought to higher floors in an effort to ensure their safety. On Wednesday, the government of France is apparently going to declare a state of natural catastrophe when it meets. The environmental ministry said today that the Seine would remain high through the weekend and also through this week, but still far off its 1910 height record of 8.62 meters before finally beginning to subside. The head of the National Railways in France said that the rail network had suffered catastrophic damage which would run to tens of millions of euros. The insurance industry bill from the severe flooding and storms affecting Paris and France could be as high as about 2.3 billion US. This is according to the Director General of the French Mutual Insurers Group, the MAIF, M-A-I-F. This gentleman said that his organization believes that the bill for the insurance and perhaps reinsurance markets to pay will be 3 times that seen in the 2015 southeastern French floods, which cost around $600 million. So far, over 43,000 claims have been lodged, but that number is going to rise. The following insurers have already received claims: Covia, Macif, Groupama, AXA, Generali, Matmut, and MAIF. Those figures are as of Friday, so it's undoubtedly the case that over the weekend more claims came in. There's a tropical storm that's threatening Florida. Tropical Storm Colin strengthened overnight in the Gulf of Mexico. It's turned toward the northeast. It's putting Florida directly in its path. The storm has maximum sustained winds of 50 miles per hour. It's expected to make landfall this evening around the Big Bend and Panhandle area of Florida. That would be up in the northwest corner of the state. And then it's going to move across North Florida toward Jacksonville. Much of central Florida is currently under tropical storm warning. Rain totals could top 4 inches in some parts. Heavy rain and localized wind gusts of up to 40 miles per hour are going to be the primary threats. In Australia, 3 people are dead and more are missing after massive storms flooded rivers, uprooted trees, and tore into beaches along Australia's eastern coast. The Insurance Council of Australia declared an insurance catastrophe for the region. Insurers have received more than 11,000 claims across 2 states so far. Erosion at Sydney's Coleroy Beach has forced the evacuation of multi-million-dollar homes which are in danger of collapsing. Northern Tasmania has faced its worst flooding now in decades, with parts of Launceston, Latrobe, and Railton all underwater. In southern Turkey, at least 14 people were killed, including 6 children, when a bus crashed off a highway and then went into a canal. The bus crashed in the city of Osmaniye. It was returning from a school trip. The children were from a school in Hatay province, which borders Syria. On Friday afternoon, there was an oil train derailment in Oregon. The train was operated by the Union Pacific Railroad on Union Pacific tracks. Union Pacific is now saying that a track failure was likely the cause of the derailment and the subsequent explosion that occurred in the Columbia River Gorge. Union Pacific inspected the track that runs through Mosier, Oregon, where the crash occurred most recently on May 31st. Right now, the railroad is focused on removing the crude oil from the damaged cars as quickly as possible. The fire has now finally been extinguished. 16 out of 96 tank cars derailed and started a fire. The local fire chief said that the situation could have been an awful lot worse. He said, "My attention is focused on the incident that didn't happen. If the wind speeds had been up to normal in the area, which would have been 25 miles an hour, it could have turned the fire into a major disaster, sending flames across state lines." The fire chief said it probably would have burned its way close to Omaha, Nebraska. That's how big it would have been. Obviously, that's an exaggeration. That would mean it would have to burn through about 4 states. Of course, we mentioned that this is the anniversary of D-Day, and on Friday afternoon in Arizona, Muhammad Ali passed away. The 74-year-old Ali had been the heavyweight boxing champion of the world 3 times. His funeral is scheduled for Friday in Louisville, Kentucky, his hometown. Former President Bill Clinton will speak, as will the comedian Billy Crystal. Muhammad Ali was certainly the most recognizable sports figure, if not figure, in the world for about the past 50 years, and his passing is something to be noted. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.